Is my voice too terrible? I feel like I'm,
No, it feels sounds a little rough, but no, it doesn't sound.
talking with my head in a fishbowl or something.
No, it doesn't really sound bad. Too bad.
No. Okay.
I hope it's not stirring it up too much.
No, it's fine. So, what do we want to do in the few minutes we have for the after show?
Well, couple books I would just throw out, talk about this, and I don't know where this conversation will go, and I don't feel like I can't quite authoritatively speak on it right yet, like I've got it all in my brain, but just some exciting that I'm kind of in. I just finished a book by Paul Chappell, just a little book that was sent to us by a listener, I believe, of the podcast, and and a missionary that we support sent this book to our church, to me, and I read through it. It really was encouraging, kind of almost not a book study of Nehemiah, but drawing lessons from Nehemiah, called "Strengthening Your Hands," something like that. For people in in ministry or leadership of some sort. But I've also been, by the recommendation of a friend, in a couple books about dealing with the Eastern thought process versus the way that we approach Scripture with a Western mentality, and things that we may miss, and the way one author says it, what goes without being said. That's his terminology. What goes without being said in our culture is one thing. What goes without being said in theirs may be another thing. So sometimes when the text states something and something went without being said, and we insert a Western perspective in there, we might veer off a little bit and make the wrong application about what's actually being said.
Yeah. Interesting. Is that the same book or is that two different books?
Two different books.
Two different books. Okay.
Yeah. One's called Misreading Scripture Through Western Eyes, I believe, and the other one's called Jesus Through Middle Eastern Eyes, something like that, by Kenneth Bailey. Kenneth E. Bailey is the second one there, and I don't remember the authors of the first one. There's two authors in that book. And you may not agree with everything they say, but it's interesting.
Sure.
One thing they were talking about was the Western mindset is guilt. The way they describe it is guilt, innocence, directed. It's right or wrong. You're guilty or innocent. We're very much along the justice thing, law things. Well, the Eastern mindset is about honor, shame. And we even in business, they'll talk about this, I'm sure, and educate guys, I imagine, especially when you're doing business with people in the East. And because I started looking up articles, I was like, wow, this is really fascinating. But we're familiar with the idea of saving face. Well, that's an Eastern concept that you're trying to save face for someone else, that is, not cause shame unnecessarily to them or protect them from shame. And he uses the illustration that one time in counseling a couple, it was she's, I think maybe it was the wife, said something like, "Where do I hide my face?" or "Where do I put my face?" It's interesting. Anyway, just the idea that there's shame involved with it. And I thought that his what he was trying to say, I get what he's maybe trying to bring into our thought process, though I thought it went a little too far, but it was certainly interesting to think about. And so I was sitting there this one morning, I read some, and then I did a word search in my Bible software on shame or ashamed and things like that. Well, then you start to see it in the Scripture and go, wow, I guess I saw it, but I don't know that it really lodged in my mind that they're dealing in a shame context, an honor-shame culture. And one of them was Judah. If you type in just shame instead of ashamed, type in just shame, the first reference that comes up was when Judah goes to pay Tamar. Remember, he's slept with his daughter-in-law, doesn't even realize it. Of course, this is it's adulterous or fornicative, it's immoral. And he says, if I could kind of summarize, he's basically goes to send this goat in payment, right? And his friend says, "I don't find anybody, nobody there." And he's like, "We got to get this goat to this woman, or else we're going to be shamed." Interesting that he's not dealing with the right and wrong of it. He was looking at the shame of
Huh.
that action. And there's others. Let me see if I can pull up on the tab. You could also look up the idea of reproach. I started.
Do you know where the reference where that reference is to shame that you were just talking about? You said to search for shame.
Genesis 38:23, and Judah said, "Let her take it to her, lest we be shamed. Behold, I sent this kid, now it's not found her." Well, then you go to Exodus 32:25. Moses come down from the mountain. Aaron's made the golden calf. Of course, they've defected. There's the whole story there. But it's interesting that it says, and when
I think my search parameters are off or something. I'm only seeing like a couple of references here. Hold on.
okay,
Go ahead.
it says, and when
Keep talking.
Moses saw that the people were naked, for Aaron had made them naked unto their shame among their enemies. Now, granted, it was we could say it was wrong. In our Western concept, we'd say, well, that's wrong, meaning he did something wrong. He made them do something wrong. But the phraseology is he made them naked unto their shame, that they brought shame or dishonor on themselves. Um, um, and then in Numbers chapter 12 and verse 14, and the Lord said unto Moses, talking about I think a judgment on Miriam, if her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days, and after that, let her be received in again. But anyway, that you can look and just see it in several passages talking about ashamed and shame, and then when my mind just started going, I may write a blog post on it eventually. But the concept of shame, and I think it overlaps with right and wrong. It overlaps with the concept of morality, but in our American culture, not only are we just about, well, at least they're saying, that we're so much about the right and wrong, not so much about the shame. You do recognize that in our modern culture, we're losing not just a sense of what is right and wrong, the whole postmodern concept of
Yeah.
I'll define right and wrong the way I want to, and I'm going to, reject the traditional definitions of right and wrong. But more than that, there's no shame.
Oh, it's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, that it's not only I
It's
don't
gone.
do right, I don't care that I don't do right. I shamelessly live. There's no concept of lost honor and
Yeah.
lost value there. Really, really interesting. What I've
Yeah.
been reading there.
Well, it's almost like they expect something that should be a laughing stock in most places to be acceptable.
Sure.
And I think so. Like I was just as you were talking, looking up um, the word that you're talking about, shamed from Genesis 38. There are a couple of uses of it as the idea of a laughing stock,
Mm.
if I'm not mistaken.
But what is that idea, of shame?
Yeah.
Is that well? And anyway, well, then if I could go on this tangent while I think about it, he's talking about, and again, this is you can process what the writer is saying and analyze to what degree you accept all that. But he had a really interesting take on. He said, according to him, in the Eastern culture, there's only so much honor to go around, basically. So when someone shames you, they make you ashamed. They increase in honor, and you decrease. They've heaped honor to themselves. Now you cast that concept onto this ongoing, I don't want to call it a feud because it wasn't on Jesus' part necessarily, but this ongoing battle of the scribes and the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the Herodians with Jesus. And if I would want to save face with someone, I suppose I would approach him personally. But when I approach him publicly, it's a contest. And so now
Yeah.
they'll question him openly, because if they can cause him to fumble, they've taken honor from him, they've shamed him, and then they also are kind of elevated in the process. Every time they did that, he was putting them to the worse. He
Mm-hmm.
was essentially shaming them in public, and he
Uh
was
huh.
getting the honor. And so finally, they had to bring it to the point of crucifixion. Now, they didn't kill him in a dark alley somewhere. They had to do it in a public way that shamed him, that made him a criminal, and in the process reap the honor back to themselves. Fascinating to see it in that light. The
Yeah.
way they had to cast the whole thing, that they create a mock trial in some ways, maybe to create some legitimacy, to try to set it up that he actually is not he wasn't a martyr. We didn't kill
Yeah.
him for being who he was. No, he was a criminal, and we
And then
shamed him.
attempt to discredit the resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
which, ultimately I think the resurrection, boy, that is an interesting concept, the idea of shaming them, because the
Mm-hmm.
resurrection would have been the ultimate shaming.
Yes.
I mean, that would have been just, to use the more modern vernacular, to own them.
Yeah. There you go.
That was just an absolute own.
So that's been an interesting read. And there was other things too, not just the honor shame. That was just one chapter. But in the other book, just talking about our Western approach to interpretation, say, of the nativity narrative. If we think that she was all alone and she was in a barn and blah, blah, blah. Well, he goes to explain, what more likely what that looked like. And that's interesting.
Do you have links to these for the show notes?
I can provide them for you. Sure will.
Okay, that'd be good.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's just been some of what I've been in recently reading, and it's been enjoyable. It's neat to really kind of get a window in that way to consider Scripture and to see it from a place that you feel like would have some legitimate thought, being that it is from an Eastern source or Middle Eastern. I honestly don't know exactly the difference where you draw the lines between what's Middle East and what's East. I think technically
Right.
we would say that Israel is Middle East, where East is China, and the Far East, where I think in one of the books it was saying maybe and maybe I'm saying this wrong, but partly in the Middle East you're dealing with various monotheisms. In the Far East, you're dealing with a pantheism. So there is a difference there. The whole, pantheistic. I don't know what to say otherwise than that. Eastern religion thought is very different. And I remember reading that in what book is that? I'm looking for it over on my shelf. The Universe Next Door. I think that's what it was. And you may start reading about the Eastern religion and go, whoa. I mean, different than we typically, if you've just been growing up in Christianity, very different thought process. Very.
Yeah, I bet. So to round this out in the remaining minutes here, I thought we would do something fun for Christmas.
Hey, all right.
And if you've heard these before and you answer like you haven't heard them before, you're a cheater and a liar and you lose.
Okay. So if I know the answer, say it right.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna read Christmas carols to you,
yes,
or the titles of them.
Yep.
But they're reworded in such a way as to obfuscate them.
Mm-hmm.
So I will read them to you.
Here. Okay.
And you have to guess which Christmas carol this is. Okay. Number one, Bleached Yule.
White Christmas.
Yeah, there you go. That's an easy one. Ding, ding, ding. That's a gimme. Okay, that one's a freebie. All right, this one's not so easy. Castaneous-colored seed vesiculated in a conflagration.
Okay, wait. Conflagration is a fire. A seed in a fire. Oh, chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Yeah, you got it. That's it. That's it. Castaneous just refers to chestnuts. Chestnut colored.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Singular yearning for the twin anterior incisors.
All I want for Christmas is my two front teeth. Actually,
the little known fact, that song was written by a West Virginian named Billy Joe.
Are you kidding?
No. Well, yes, I am actually. I'm kidding. I was just, so see, if I have to explain the joke, it's not funny anymore.
Sorry.
But there's an equal statistical likelihood that song was written by a 5-year-old who had missing front teeth or a redneck. Um,
Or a guy who just had too much time. No,
that's true. Okay. Number 4. Oh, this one's got to be an easy one. Righteous Darkness.
Righteous Darkness, Silent
Uh-huh.
Night. No,
Nope.
Holy Night, Silent Night, Holy Night.
Nope.
Oh, no, no, no. Okay. Oh, Holy Night.
That's it. Yep, you got it.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Arrival time 2400 hours, weather cloudless.
Okay. 'Tis midnight and on Olive's brow. No. No. Okay.
I have no idea what you
Wait,
just
wait.
said. Is that a song?
Tis midnight and on Olive's brow the sun is dimmed that lately shone.
Olive's Brow?
Olive's brow, like Mount of Olives.
Okay. I
Beautiful
mean,
song.
I have a niece named Olive, so I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah. No,
thinking,
that's
I'm like, what is this? Who wrote this
wait,
song?
what? It's not a Christmas song. Okay, can you read it again? Give me a second
Okay.
chance here. Pull the audience.
Arrival time 2400 hours, weather cloudless.
Oh, okay. Weather cloudless. So sky, clear sky.
Come on, you got this
come
one.
on.
Arrival time 2400 hours. Do you know what time that is?
It's midnight.
Yeah.
Midnight.
Weather cloudless.
Midnight.
Midnight.
Clear skies.
Clear.
Night clear. It came
Midnight
up on a
clear.
midnight clear.
Yeah, you got it. That's
Okay.
it. All right. I had to give you an assist there.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Loyal followers advance.
Oh, come all you faithful.
Yep, you got it. All right. Far off in a feeder.
Away in a manger.
That's it. Array the corridor.
Actually, I have to go back to that last one.
What?
Far off in a feeder. The
It
poor
doesn't go.
baby. Like, I mean, I get it. It's just not quite the same.
Yeah.
Okay. What's
all right? Array the corridor.
Array the deck the halls. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Bantam male percussionist.
Bantam male. Little drummer boy. Bantam.
Yeah,
oh my goodness. So like
Bantam.
a little. Yeah, like a
lightweight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Monarchical triad.
We three kings. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Do you know the alternative version of that song?
I don't think you're dealing necessarily as seriously as I'm thinking here, but it's like to lead it with the congregation and you say, there's technically not just three kings that we know of. They may not even have been kings, but I would say
not where I was going at all with it.
But I was going to say you can easily change that that song by saying "We the Kings of Orient are," although they still may not have been kings. But anyway, okay.
No, I was taking it at a much more childish and churlish direction about we three kings of Orient are tried to smoke a rubber cigar. It exploded, or it was loaded and exploded. Bang, we two kings of Orient.
Oh, no.
You never heard that?
Nah, I don't know if I have.
Okay.
I'm saying that's my children.
I'm not sure what that says about me. So, all right. Nocturnal noiselessness.
Silent night.
Yes.
Okay.
Jehovah, deactivate Blythe Chevaliers.
Chevalier, nice. Okay.
Chevaliers. See, I anglicized it.
Okay, say it again.
Jehovah, deactivate Blythe Chevaliers. Okay, take it one word at a time. Jehovah.
Lord.
Okay. Deactivate.
Maybe
that's not the right synonym to use there, but Blythe.
Blythe. Right? Sorry, I'm exposing my ignorance here. Blythe is what is that kind of easy?
Mary, easy going. Yeah.
Okay.
The Chevalier. What does that sound like?
Cavalier, Chevy Cavalier.
Chivalrous, like a gentleman.
Yeah, God rest ye, merry gentlemen.
There you go.
So
that's it.
So what's the deactivate?
Deactivate. See, they should have used a different word there.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm really beat. I'm going to go deactivate for about 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm going to go take a deactivation.
All right. Red man en route to burrow.
Santa. It's got to be Santa or Indians. That's politically incorrect. Red man, but okay. Red man en route to burrow.
en route to burrow.
Something to dig.
But burrow like BOROUGH.
Okay. I think burrow like chipmunk.
Santa Claus is digging a hole.
Okay.
Santa Claus is digging a hole. Right? No, that's
Don't
not
be
how the song
disturbed if you look
goes.
out in your front yard and see Santa Claus digging a hole.
No,
Can't be any worse than dropping down your chimney. Okay. Santa Claus coming to town tonight.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. You got it. All right. Frozen precipitation commence.
Let it snow.
That's it.
Okay.
Proceed and enlighten on the pinnacle.
Okay. Proceed and enlighten. Go and brighten on the peak.
On the pinnacle.
On the peak. The top.
And enlighten might also mean if you can enlighten me on the subject.
Explain.
Yeah.
Explain.
Approach and explain it on the hill.
Oh, okay. Wait. Hark, the herald angels sing. No.
No.
Okay.
Our listeners are going, come on, you've got this. They're screaming it into their phones.
I want to buy an L.
L for loser. You didn't get it. Go tell it on the mountain.
Oh, go tell it on the mountain.
Yep.
All right, there it is.
All right. The quadruped with the vermilion proboscis.
Okay. It's got to be something about reindeer, probably. Quadruped.
Proboscis.
Proboscis.
You know what that is?
No, sorry.
That's a nose.
Oh, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
That's it. Yep. Probably the only Christmas song with a nose in it. Query regarding identity of descendant.
Regarding identity of descendant.
Oh, query.
Come on. Some about David City, once in Royal David City, or
no, you're overthinking it.
Okay.
Query regarding identity of descendant. What color are your sleeves? Are they green?
No.
No. Okay. Red. All right.
Oh, green.
Query regarding identity of descendant.
Okay, give me a hint. What's what query mean?
Ask.
Okay. Okay.
What,
query, like
what?
Like a query.
Yeah. What?
What child is this?
That's it. If I'm not mistaken.
What did that have to do with the color of my sleeves?
Isn't that song originally known as Green Sleeves? Yeah. I was trying to give you a hint. Okay.
Like, man, it's red and blue and black checkered.
All right. Apparently I got to give you an easy one here. All right. Here's an easy one. Delight for this planet.
Joy to the world.
That's it. Give attention to the melodious celestial beings.
Hark the herald angels sing.
That's it. And finally, for all the marbles, the dozen festive 24-hour intervals.
The 12 days of Christmas.
That's it. Yay! You got it. I wish I had Christmas bells to ring for you.
Thank you. I don't know. I'm going to get like a 91 on that or something, maybe.
Sure, if we're feeling generous. Or
Okay. So maybe I got it several hints along there.
All right. Well, that was fun. Hey, what do you think about giving the after show as a Christmas bonus to all of our listeners?
Hey, let's do it. Yeah.
All right.
I was expecting something else to come out of your mouth, like, hey, let's let him go on an a cappella duet here.
Well, Tom's head is full of crud. This has gone off the rails too quickly.
I'm sorry. I need to go take a deactivation on this.
All right. Well, for both of you still listening
All
to
right.
this point, congratulations on your tenacity. You've
Yes.
earned this.
Thanks so much. And enjoy the break.
All right. Merry Christmas, everyone.